tick loud in the chamber. Pressure get colder. Wrestler walks in, troop right in the shoulder. Here for the shift, tear the mask of pretenders. Beat drop, he's a fucking monster. Cuts through the noise, pulls the lies in the daylight. Every move calculated, every word's a fist fight. Build a new code, stacking bricks for the future. Turning mid-life to gold, cut the chains like a suture. Keeps time as a weapon, each tick is a death note. Lights up the skyline, watch the whole city take note. Yeah, not chasing the fame, here to freeze with molten. Break open the silence, keep the truth ice cold. No clock to punch in, he's the one who dictates. Every second's a fuse, watch the skyline detonate. Eyes closed, living from the sideline. No talking, I'ma do it, bitch, it's my time. Everything swerving, driving off of my tire. But I'm cool as can be, look in my eyes. These some pictures you can't put up on your timeline. More vivid than the NYC skyline. Some crazy shit you can't imagine, only I find. You just coming for a trip inside my mind. The street lights on.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Was good. Kind of sneaking up here really late. We're gonna get through this real quick because I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, but I just said I want to be able to talk about something, and it's rather late. So yours truly got some stuff he got to do tomorrow as well. It's got a lot going on. So we're gonna kick this off. We're gonna make this up real quick. Let me check a couple of things. A couple of things. It's been a long night. I can't. Or I'm already can't stand this. Ugh, I'm already seeing that. That's already crazy. Anyway, what's going on, people? Hopefully, you're having a good one. Whether you catch it here live or whether you catch it on the replay, it'll all be the same. All the same. Today, for this evening, I want to talk about as a unfinished thought because I didn't really know what I was gonna really say or what I was going to talk about, but I had a feeling I wanted to put something on the books. And this thought came from uh, the lovely Alexandria, who came up with the idea of I guess arguments. You can really say she gave it to me on the actual post. So hold on, let me go check that post real quick. Oh, nope, that's not it for sure. It's a wrong spot. Give me 1 second here. And let's see. Okay, that's not updated. What the hell happened there? Here we go. So the idea was to talk about there were several topics that was actually up there, but one of them just came down to the point where people who love to argue. So I just said, okay, cool. I guess we can talk a little bit about arguments. You can kind of say. So we'll get into that. How do I want to open this up? Mm, I think that there are people. Let's put it that way. There are people who don't want clarity. They don't. And people who don't want clarity, what I think they want is friction. For some people, this is what they just really go for. And there are many type of people that just try to lean into this kind of area. So first and foremost, these are the people that want to, for some reason, whether they believe they know better or they're just bored or they're just looking to tear somebody down, who knows what the reason could actually be, but they're looking for friction. 1 second here. Oh, those were annoying me. And they've been they've been trying, well, I've been trying, let me say this. I've been trying to understand that why people get into it and why people talk about why people get into it or why they do these particular things. That's doing I'm really gonna get rid of that. Because I don't tend to approach conversations like it's a sparring match. That's just typically not the thing that I do. I'm usually listening. I'm trying to, trace the ideals that they're actually putting up, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly is being said. Where did it come from? Whether the person believes it or not, um, or if it's just something that they're using in order to protect their own beliefs or state of mind. But some people don't want to trace the ideal. What they want to do is just simply oppose it. So I started auditing that kind of behavior because I see it in a lot of different areas, in a lot of different spaces. It's not about personal beliefs because I've seen people who will, quite frankly, argue about something that they don't even believe in. They don't even care about. They just do it just to be the opposition. Some people argue disagree. Some people will argue because disagreement defines them, which is a weird position to actually be in. If you ask me, the mindset I'm thinking that they're coming to is if I disagree with you, I'm distinct. I'm special. If I oppose you, I know I exist on some spectrum, some contrast, which makes me superior or an intellect or whatever. And I'm just like, what? And then there's the whole agreement. They don't want to agree because agreement requires alignment. And there's people that just don't want to align. Um, Alignment, what I would say that requires a bit of vulnerability to say either you're wrong about something and you change your mind towards the other point of view that you're hearing, listening, or on the simple fact that you're willing to understand and show a little bit of humility in agreeing with the people that you want to. Now, people don't want to show humility because all they want to do is disagree. For a lot of people, and I don't understand why people choose this path, but disagreement seems easier for them rather than agreeing that it's the funny part because most people will love to find people who are like-minded who want to agree with them, but not these particular people. They look for disagreement. Like I said, doesn't mean something that they believe in, doesn't mean something that they actually have any knowledge of. They just disagree for disagreement's sake. It lets someone feel, at least to me, the way I'm looking at it, it lets someone feel independent without having to build anything of their own, to construct anything of their own, to really even give you the context of where they actually got the information on why they can actually disagree with you. They're just saying they can disagree with you. And instead of actually stating all the reasons why, what they do is they just ask you questions. Never say anything to defend their point, but feel like you need to validate your point to them. Just something to think about there. Opposition becomes the personality, if you want to say it that way. Hey, what's going on? Good evening. Good evening. Just kind of sneaking in here, dropping a little something real quick before to see what happens. Uh, and I think when people put themselves in a position of being the opposition because it becomes part of the personality, the ideal of things becoming clear, of clarity actually being the thing that becomes a point of the conversation, that's secondary. You're not trying to take the time to understand. You're trying to maintain some kind of identity that you're smarter than everybody else. At least that's what I see when I'm thinking about that type of layer. Oh, it's gonna be real short. I'm just kind of kicking this off real quick. I also think of the idea of why would they do this? Why engage in stuff like this, even if you really don't have a dog in the fight or you really don't even care? Why even bother engaging in it, right? And I want to say that for a lot of people, arguing is just straight up stimulating. I never really understood the concept of just wanting to get my blood boil or just argue with someone and then call it fun. It's not really my thing because I'm always wondering what do people get out of the situation at the end? And if the idea is that the only thing I got at the end is that I got hot and bothered, especially after arguing with one man over another, it's not really one thing for me. Not really something I am interested in. And it raises the emotional temperatures of everybody in that conversation. For some reason, this addiction to adrenaline that people are running off of, this is why I said it's stimulating to a lot of people. Not that the conversation is stimulating, but the aspect of arguing is stimulating. Doesn't matter what the conversation is, so long as they get to be a part of it. Because agreement is clean and it's calm. Calm doesn't spike people's nervous systems, but conflict does. So, for some people, arguing isn't about the topic, it's about the feeling. People are running around all in their feelings. And since I mainly see that the people that mainly want to engage in that tend to be in a lot of spaces that I run across back and forth. And while it was commonly something I could see on shows and conversations and back and forth with ladies, the majority of those feelings I'm seeing now happen to be from men. The intensity that feels like engagement, but it's really not. Instead, it's their engagement that make them feel like they are important. So even if nothing productive is actually happening, it feels active. And activity feels like progress, even when it's not doing a damn thing. I love, even when I'm saying that right now, I'm still thinking about that whole analogy. A rocking chair moves a lot, but it goes nowhere. Doing all this shit, getting your blood pressure up, having a whole bunch of people yell back and forth, getting mad, possibly getting into fights or throwing things, and for a situation with no resolution and not going anywhere at the end of the day. And let's just be honest with it. A good portion of that is all based on ego and the idea of who can control the situation. Honestly, I don't even think I really needed a lot for this one. I could have just chopped it straight up to a video. This is not really a hard thing to really think about. When I think of the ego and control factor of it, there's power in destabilizing conversations because we see it happen all the time. It happens a lot in conversations that I see in the street, and it happens a lot of conversations that I see online, specifically those that happen in panels. This is why I tell people pay attention to when you start seeing the logical fallacies. Most of the time, the most common thing that I see are straw men. Derailing, creating straw men rather than actually engaging with the actual thing that's there. And the reason why it's done is to reframe and control the conversation, to steer it and put in the narrative. If I can interrupt your logic, question your premise, twist your framing, I control the rhythm. And I'm just calling it out straight up. I'm calling out what we all know, but I think a lot of people have come to the point of not paying attention to anymore. So they're not even aware that they're seeing it. Because control feels safe. So no, sometimes sometimes people argue not with the point, but just to control the actual environment. This is why people will just interject and bring in shit that has nothing to do with the actual conversation in play. If the room is unstable, no one can actually have firm ground. If someone has a hard stance that makes too much sense, someone has to try to put it all on shaky ground. I don't understand when people have a good solid foundation while other people come along to try to make it unstable. And if no one has firm ground, no one can pin anything on me is the particular state of mind. And that's ego That's ego protection dressed up as a quote debate. And I see it so often. It's like everybody's now got the same playbook, but everybody thinks that they're unique, and they're not. I talked about this either my last stream or the one before that when we was talking about the avoidance. And part of it comes down to accountability. Because this is the layer, quite frankly, that I believe would matter the most. Because agreement requires a bit of responsibility. If I agree that something is true, I may have to adjust. I may have to admit fault. I may have to move differently. But if everything stays debatable, nothing can become actionable. If I can keep the conversation spiraling and spinning, keep it abstract as possible, keep it all oppositional, I never have to commit to anything. Sounds like avoiding accountability to me. There is this thing where being a contrarian is somehow insulation. It is having this badge of honor. You feel proud to be a contrarian. I don't understand that. You said for some arguing is a sport, it's competition. Yeah, but here's my thing. The thing about competitions is that you have to know where there actually is sports being played. There are people who are walking in and just arguing about anything. If there is not even something that's up for debate, why are you turning it into one or attempting to turn it into one? If I like, I don't know, if I like bubblegum, why do I care if you like something else? I don't recall asking. Why even bother telling me? I don't care. Good for you. Well, I like it and I don't like yours. So fucking what? So what? It doesn't matter. This idea of just trying to always be at odds with someone keeps the pressure off for some people, but it's exhausting for no reason. It's like walking around just trying to stick your dick into anything just because you see a shaped hole. And I don't think that most people are consciously doing this. I think it's becoming something that's instinctive because there are too many patterns that are indoctrinating people to believe that this is just the state of mind that people should be in. It's becoming a learned behavior, therefore becoming instinctual. Immediately, the sentiment is not to listen, it's to disagree, to deflect, to destabilize. And somehow that feels safer than committing. Terms of belittlement. I like that. I like that. There's something to there. And I think these are just people that just need to do, they just need something more with themselves. They just need something to do. I think these are people that really are bored. They just need something to do. I'm sorry. In my mind, it's like even this whole aspect of just sitting around and just arguing with people all day. I'm thinking to myself, there's so much I could be doing to get better, to do things for myself. This is me. This is my opinion, me personally. So many things I can work on, so many things I can get better to do for myself. So many projects are going to be started, things I can work on to get better so I can have something in the future. And instead, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to burn it. The only thing I really have that's most important time on something that I can't even say when I end this entire conversation hours later, I can't even say that there was anything I got back from it. Well, you say your likes, dislikes, opinions are not as important as theirs. That's not entirely true. Some people are just wrong. For me, though, if you're just wrong, if I said what I said and you still want to believe what you want to believe, I'm going to leave you where you are. I'm not about to do a back and forth with you. If I said, people know that 2 plus 2 is in fact 4, but you're saying, but if I just take away 5, it's also 4. And I'm going to say, yeah, you're right. So it's not the only way. This is how they do it. This is not the only way you can get to 4. And I'm like, who said it was the only way? You did. Well, I'm just saying. Well, can you do people a favor? Can you stop saying Mr. Awesome Amazing? What up? What up? What up? What's up to you? Just in here, throwing out a little quick tidbit before I'm gonna leave people up for the day. Sure. I'd say sure. That's fine. And most people don't pay attention to when people are doing these things because they're looking to trigger you. They say particular things, or they run around the mountain all under the bush. They go dig a hole to the China. They go on the other side, then take an airplane and then parasail all the way down to come to you and then say, I did it another way. And it's like, good for you. So what? If I decide to drive to Chicago and someone else knows a shortcut, and we both get to Chicago, and they say, well, I took a shortcut. I took a detour. Okay. So I think that my way is better than yours. I think that the only way your way could be better than mine's is if I didn't make it to Chicago, but yet we're having a conversation. So it didn't work. We both made it to Chicago. I don't recall us trying to get there in a certain amount of time. I just said I'm taking a ride to Chicago. My thing is that why is it so important to so many people that they must size themselves up with everybody else? I'm okay just being where I am. I don't look at the next person and just think I have to one up this person. Don't you? Let me ask this question for you guys. Only you can answer for yourself. Don't you find it tiring to always have to look at somebody else and always think you need to be ahead of them? Most of all, not even knowing what they're capable of. What's good, baby girl? I'm very much in this whole thing that you don't know what you don't know. That means also about other people. I say this also with young people. When young people get into their whole little thing, oh, I'll fight somebody. And I'm like, you are aware that when you fight somebody, right, there's a great possibility, not the fact that you'll just lose, but that you're going to get severely hurt. Why do you think you're going to be doing all the damage and you're not going to get any lumps, any wops, any potential broken bones or whatever? Why do you think you're going to walk away with that scot-free? How delusional are you? You don't know what you don't know. Even someone who you look at as, quote, pussy, you'd be surprised when they believe that their life is on the line, how much damage that they can do. You really want to put all of that macho-ness into what? Randomness? Luck? Listen. The world is contrived of people who move around with luck and skill. Do yourself a favor. Don't go on luck. Hope is not a strategy. Luck and hope is not a strategy. It's just not it. Best to move on skill. Will and skill. It's nice to know what you can do, but it's dumb for you to underestimate what someone else can do. It's the way how I see it. I know, seems a little too reasonable, but there's gonna be someone who says, it's not reasonable. I know what I can do, and I can whoop everybody's ass. And I'm gonna say, can someone just form a queue, please? Everybody go after this motherfucker. I just want to watch. I just want to watch. I just want to know when it's gonna all go to shit, so I can just say, and what did we learn? There are people that just want to walk around and just debate. And I'm thinking about it right now because I'm thinking about the whole. It's like I would say it's like a dysfunction, but at the same time, I don't want to really say that because real debate is actually structured. This whole thing that people just want to walk around and arguing with people all the day, it kind of does feel like some sort of dysfunction. Keep in mind, I said dysfunction. Someone's gonna hear that, get triggered because they don't listen, and they're gonna think that I said disorder. And then I'm gonna say your lack of hearing is probably a disorder. Get that checked out, please. Because real debates are actually structured, people. They have rules. They have assigned positions. They have clear objectives. Most people aren't debating. Most people are there just reacting. They're moving around with no structure. They're moving around with no standards. They have no real goal or clarity in mind. All they want is just friction. That's all they want. And friction without any damn purpose doesn't sharpen anybody. It's just there to wear people down. And I say, if you really just need to spend your energy like that, do yourself a favor. Buy a whore. Or you could do something else more productive. Hit the gym. Because Lord knows, I see a lot of people out here just sitting here and running their mouth all the time, but they ain't got no real body weight. Think of how productive you can actually be, and your health will be better. So you running your jaw all day. Especially for no conclusions. No one's getting better from it. But I can already see people, what the fuck do you think you're talking about? And I'm going to say, I'm talking about what I'm talking about. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Because you know what I can do that other junkies have a problem doing? I got to argue with you. But, what? You're not going to argue with me? I ain't going to argue with you. I got better shit to do. I like results. I like results. I am a results driven guy. I like to know that, and if I give effort, I'm getting back something from it. And a lot of people are out here with the premise that it's okay to waste your time. And keep in mind, you're going to run into plenty of people that's going to waste your time. And you shouldn't. I'll be honest with you. I might waste my money, but one thing I'm not going to waste is my time. I may absolutely waste money, but I'm not going to waste time. I have lost money on shit that I'm just like, and instead of sitting there and fighting and going back and forth and customer service and arguing and getting everybody else and say, I want to see your manager and your manager and your manager and your, I'm like, the money's gone. I'm going to get my peace of mind. I'm just going to move on. And you'll sit there and you'll do a whole exchange for 3 days for $14. $14 fucking dollars. 3 days, talk to 12 people for $14. Not me. I'm good. I'm all right. And for you time wasters out there, I'm just like, it's because you're miserable. You need something to fill your time with. You're really not happy with your life. It's okay. Now that you know, you can go find something that's going to be productive. You don't have to live a lousy life because this is the only one you have. You can do something about it. You can get better, but that's all on you. You have to decide what you want to do. Because I guarantee for the most of these people who I see running around these damn places and arguing for no reason, most of them ain't doing shit. Most of them are very bored in their life. Most of them not even paid to do what is they try to do all the time. What do you do when you're off the club? I go to my local bar. And what do you do? And I argue there too. And you waste your money because I guarantee if you're there arguing with a whole bunch of people, you're spending money. Because if not, they're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get kicked the fuck out. So you're wasting your money and wasting your time. How smart are you? How smart you are. So you can wake up and realize you spent hours doing absolutely nothing that got you absolutely nowhere. You're no smarter for it. You're not richer for it. You can't leverage anything from it. But your feelings are good. You feel good. This is like the people that gamble, by the way. Your girl's probably not giving you none. All you do is work. You probably don't have no time to even beat your meat at home because she's probably running all over the place. Probably don't leave you alone. So you go out and you gamble. Because the thrill of possibly winning is better than you sitting there to yourself and feeling bad. People do stupid things all the time. And by the way, if you felt like I just called out one of your vices somewhere around there, you should figure your own shit out. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. Figure it out. Sort it out. That's between you and your Lord. Your Lord. Because I think if real people was out there trying to do their thing, if real people were out there really putting their effort into it, really going through an actual disagreement, a real disagreement, a real tangible shit behind it, not just talking points and just saying, well, you could just look it up, or you could just point at other people, or you could just look in the sky and just, well, you're an idiot. How can you not know this? Okay, so explain it. Well, how can you not? You're an idiot. Because now you're given an opportunity and you failed in real time. Your act of disagreement is not even a real disagreement. I'm not against disagreements, by the way. Disagreements happen in actual, real dialogue. Real disagreements actually build clarity. It actually helps you think. It refines your thinking because you might have a particular way, and somebody actually said something that logically makes sense, and you may actually just readjust. Not just double down to be a dick. Because it reveals blind spots that you might have already had. The idiocy of a lot of people, they walk around and believe that they don't have blind spots. And yet it becomes the simplest of people that come through that dismantle all their shit. Maybe if you've done enough reflection, you wouldn't have to have someone who can come in and relatively be a moron and dismantle your whole shit. But there is a difference, by the way, between disagreement aimed at the truth. And disagreement, by the way, that's aimed at stimulation. People don't really understand that. And because of the indoctrination of what people keep seeing on live these days, they believe that all disagreement is just supposed to be built for stimulation. Culturally, quite frankly, it feels like a reward for stimulation. I mean, it's the same way as this, folks. This is an easy thing once you just realize how the human brain actually works. Your brain is not meant for you to do abstract things. Your brain is actually trying to just keep you alive by doing the most simplest dopamine hit thing. You getting up and actually putting on your sneakers and you trying to get up to run the hell out the door so that you can get your body right seems like a daunting task compared to you just picking up your phone moment you get up and start doom scrolling. Your brain is always looking for you to do the easiest thing, to take the how they say the whatever of least resistance. It's not trying to make you better. And then that's when people talk about, well, motivation. And I say motive, yeah, path. Thank you, path. I don't know. I had road was in my mind, but I knew road wasn't the right word. I'm like, motivation is cute and all, but it doesn't last. It never lasts. Well, if you just build discipline, do you understand if most people really understood how you get to discipline? Because it's not something you just do. If people really understood how to build discipline, everybody would be disciplined. People think that motivation leads to discipline. It does not. Well, discipline would just lead to discipline. It was not. If that was the case, so many people would be fit instead of always trying to put up a New Year's fucking resolution to be in the gym. That's not it. The road to discipline starts with preparation. Because your brain will always pick on doing the easy thing first. That means you have to preemptively put things in your path to make it easier for yourself to do those things, and that's how you build discipline over time. I just said running out in the morning. Getting up and doom scrolling is easy to do when your phone is right on the nightstand. You get up, you don't even gotta get out of bed, just roll over, phone's in the nightstand. You know you want to run, but by the time your feet even touch that cold floor, some of you guys are gonna say a carpet, whatever. Cold air hit your legs, hit your lungs, whatever. When you pull over that sheet that covers, you're not gonna feel like doing anything. Maybe if you did something like this, you have your phone far on the opposite side of the room, and you have your sneakers there at the door. Maybe you'll put your sneakers on. Since you're already there, Get your clothes, get your running clothes ready. Have your phone over on the other side of the bed, right on the other side of the room, right next to your running stuff. Or you gotta just put your running stuff up. Maybe go to the bathroom, take a leak, grab a water bottle because you already filled your water bottle, so you got a fresh water bottle if that's what you want to do, and then you out the door. But if you don't prepare, you're never going to do all that stuff. If you do not prepare ahead of time, you're not going to do those stuff. And keep in mind, preparation is nice, but execution is also important. So if your clothes are already set up, your sneakers are already waiting for there. You got the water bottle ready, and you get up. when your phone goes off, other side of the room, and you pick up your phone and you double back to your bed, that's on you. Because now you made it easier for your brain, but you have very low willpower. You see the path of least resistance. We manifest the path. We imagine it. We look for it. Typically, allegedly. Nobody look, yeah, but nobody looks for the hard way. I agree. I agree. Understanding understanding the cost up front, not the cost down the line. Understanding the cost up front will help you. Understanding the cost up front. The idea of understanding that when you let's say you get to the gym, let's say you're a heavy guy or you're a heavy gal. You go into the gym, you have to pay the cost up front. That you know you're going to be uncomfortable, people looking at you. You're going to be uncomfortable because it's going to hurt. You're going to be uncomfortable because you're going to sweat. You're going to be uncomfortable because you know you're going to smell. You have to know and be willing to pay the cost up front. You have to be willing to know that it's not going to happen within the first month. It's not going to happen within the next 2 months. It's not going to happen. A lot of people think that they want to do things within 30 days. Let's be honest. Most people can't commit 30 days to anything. Can we just keep it a buck? Can we keep it up? Can we just be honest for a moment? Most people cannot commit to something for 30 days straight. Maybe 10. I'm being generous. Maybe 7. Then they fall off, then they just pick back up. But actually 30 days straight, typically people don't do it. And here's my thing. Nothing has ever been guaranteed in 30 days. It generally takes people 90 days to really get good at something. It generally takes people 90 days to really commit and find a new habit. 30 days, you cannot build new habits. 60 days, you can't even really build a good habit. You're just getting acclimated. You're just finding your stride. 90 days, you typically have a habit. You have a new formed habit. 30 days don't mean much. So you're gonna say you never went through a day and then you didn't eat? I know many people that didn't eat an entire day. They forget to eat. Something that should be so easy, but they forget to eat. They can't even commit to that. So I understand, but the idea when people think they're gonna move around from motivation alone, motivation's not enough. Motivation is cute. It might get you to spend the money, but it's not gonna get you moving. It's not gonna get you moving in the long run. Because you have to be willing to pay the cost ahead of time. And as I said, people have blind spots all the time when they look at how they're going to interact with something. And the same way, I'm going to bring it back, same way goes for people who go about debates. And that's why when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, there's a difference. There's a difference between that stimulation engine, you're actually just having a conversation for actual truth. But people are not looking for the truth. People will willfully take a lie. Willfully now. Instead of just doing the thing, taking care of the heart, or as someone said, eat the frog. Instead of doing the thing that's going to be difficult first, getting the toughest thing done first, they'll take on the feeling of illusion. And that's why I say, as a way I'm looking at it now, is culturally, it feels like having a reward just because you get stimulation. Because you feel better, you feel good about telling people that you're going to go to the gym, that you're going to get better, that you're going to do your thing. But then ultimately, you're disappointed because you don't do it. You'll feel so good to tell people, I'm gonna get my mind right. I'm gonna get my body right. I'm gonna get my act right. Everybody's like, yeah, yeah, go ahead, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then you don't do it. That's why something I say right now for 2026 is like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Just move in silence. Stop talking. Just do shit. Do more. Talk less. Do more. Talk less. No one needs to know. You don't need to advertise yourself. No one's paying you for any ads. Keep your mouth shut. Do the work. Let people be surprised at what you're doing. Hey, I noticed that you haven't really been around for a while. What you been up to? Well, I was in the gym and I was also rock climbing. And it's like, really? Since when? Oh, let me show you on my phone. Yeah, this is me in the gym. Me in the gym. And this is when I was doing the rock climbing. Oh, you remember that time I was supposed to show up, but I couldn't. I couldn't that day because I was doing skydiving. Here's the video of skydiving. Yeah. Why didn't you tell us? Here's the reason why I didn't tell you. Because I talk too fucking much. I talk too much. I just need to do it because I just needed receipts. I didn't need hype people behind me. I didn't need to hear the applause before I did any work. Talk less. Do the work and let people be surprised by the results. If you're working on your job and a position is coming up, do yourself a favor. Don't tell a motherfucking soul in your department that you're applying for that job. Keep your fucking mouth shut. Do not say shit. Because if you do, people are gonna sit. They're gonna be, oh, I think you should. Yeah, you should absolutely go do that thing. Yeah, I'm rooting for you. Like, and behind your back, they're talking shit. Don't say nothing. Let them ask you, are you gonna go for that position? No, I'm not too sure. Don't say no. Don't be a liar. Don't too sure. But I'm sure whoever gets it, they're probably the most qualified for it. And leave it as that. If other people start and watch how other people they start dogging other people, probably people who did open up their mouth, and keep your mouth shut. Don't even defend those other people. Just be like, and this is the person that was looking at me to asking me and say I would be great for it. Look how they're doing that person. Keep your mouth shut. Then when you get the position, should you get the position, let everyone be shocked because they didn't know. And all you can say is, well, all y'all was running around talking about, I was thinking this and I think I'd be great, or I think she's a bitch, or I think he can't do it, and such and such and such. It just went to the most qualified person. I didn't know you applied. Did you need to? You also don't know how much I make. You also don't know what route I take to work. You also don't know what time I go to bed. You also don't know what I cook in the morning. Oh, by the way, I am talking about myself. That's how I know motherfuckers is mad at me. I am talking about myself. And I swear, if I really ever thought anyone really gave a shit, I would show you guys my routine. But you guys are weirdos. I don't want you in my life like that. I like to see your routine where you get up in the morning and you tie your sneakers and you go moving and jogging and you do your workout at the. No, you don't. The fuck out my face. No, you don't. Half of you can't figure out the next. Half of you can't sit there and can't stop rubbing your hands the next time that you can just start seeing a panel? Why would you want to see somebody doing something outside of that? The fuck? And then what? So people could start trying to tune in and be like, well, are you gonna get up today to go do it? It's it's none of your business. Whatever shape I'm gonna be in will never affect you. I'm gonna ask you this. Are you doing something about your health? Hmm? Are you getting up in the morning? Are you getting your mind and your body right? How many books are you reading? How many books are you listening to? Are you going to work early? Are you putting in any overtime? Anything? Are you making new investments in your life? What have you actually learned the last week that you're actually trying to implement this week? These are important things because we like to say we learn. You're never too old to stop learning, and you learn something every day, is what they say. So, what are you leveraging that you're learning every day? I can tell you this much: you're not learning it from debate spaces. Because if people are just arguing for fun, what are we training our minds to actually enjoy? What are we training our minds to enjoy if arguing is fun? Take a moment to think about that. If that's the thing that's left to being fun, what does that say about the rest of the shit in our lives? What does that say? What does that say, folks? Come on. I think for a lot of people, they don't have a nice little neat ending for that. They don't, because now it's just become too normal, and you can change it whenever you feel like it, whenever you feel. I just know I'm measuring conversations very differently. If it builds clarity, I'll stay. If it builds friction, I am less interested. Because all that bullshit, all that quote friction without any motherfucking purpose doesn't make anyone any sharper. All it does is just make motherfuckers loud for no reason. And I don't understand why men just want to be around yelling with other men. Really weird. Really weird. Uncle Fatty, I said it before other times. I'll say it again. Motherfuckers will sit up here and argue about politics. They'll argue about politics. They'll argue about religion. They'll argue about relationships. They'll argue about marriage. They'll argue about all this different shit. You know what they won't argue about? Money. Because their pockets, they can all agree on that one. They broke. They broke. Why aren't y'all arguing about money? Why aren't there any financial debates? Oh, is that too close to home? Is that too close to home? Is the truth of the matter that when you pack your fucking pockets, most of them have nothing but lint? I don't see no debate spaces about that. Ain't no one sitting up there arguing no damn taxes. Funny how that works. Argue about all the stuff that don't matter. All the stuff with no resolution. But guess what? Your pockets has a resolution. Your pockets has a resolution because you either have something or you don't have something. But most people don't want to talk about the fact that they really don't have anything. But you don't want to argue about that, though. You don't want to argue about that, though. Why is that a sore spot? Why is that a point that people don't want to argue about? Why people don't want to talk about getting their money right? I like talking about money. Most people don't want to talk about money. Guess what, Uncle Fatty? Most people don't have a company to write that shit off. Most people, as easy as it is to actually have a damn business, still don't fucking have one. So they're not writing shit off. They're not writing a damn thing off. That's crazy. I'm one of the few people that normally I'm always talking to either the biz execs, especially have to talk to people over in accounting. That's me. And we just talk about money. We talk about money. I'm always trying to get new info. Always trying to get new info. I don't spend my time by the water cooler and just talk about bullshit. I like to talk about people who actually know shit. And that's the thing, because I'm trying to learn, I sit down and I shut the fuck up and I only ask questions when I need to. I don't try to sit there and be like, wait, are you saying about, wait, you did say this though, but I'm going to come back to that later. Continue. I'm writing shit down. Well, how does that work with this, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, I need to know the difference. Okay, thank you. Because I'm not going to put myself through school to learn what they learn when I could just build rapport with them and they can teach me for free. Some of y'all might actually know some financially literate people. And you know what you do? You stay far away from them, or you don't ask them any questions because you're too fucking embarrassed. You're too embarrassed. Or you don't align yourself with them because you rather engage in bullshit. On your lunch breaks, you'll go sit down and open up a fucking bag of flaming hot Doritos while the person who sits in accounting is sitting not too far on their break too, and you could be sparking up a conversation, but instead all you got is red Cheeto dust on your fingers. Great opportunity. You could get started speaking to them today. Or not today, tomorrow. You could be learning tricks, small little things that can be so impactful. You know that there's people who have to turn around and make sure that your paycheck is always straight. They have some of the most stressful jobs because if fucking your paycheck ain't right, they don't want to see you. They have a stressful job. And instead of you learning, because damn, they never fucked up my paycheck. Instead of you learning how they do it by building a relationship with them, you'll stay far away. I don't have a reason to ever talk to them. I'm going to pretend that accounting doesn't even exist. The Sky Gods is printing my paycheck. Like, it's, and this thing about it is like, here's the next thing. Here's another reason that you could be having, quote, money talks. How about getting some books? How about getting some books? How about investing in financial podcasts? I have financial podcasts. I don't really like all of them. Very few that I actually do like. And I try to stay away from, like, because sometimes when people talk about financial podcasts, they're really not talking about finance. They're really talking about real estate. Stay away from that shit. Stay away from that shit. Like, not everybody can do real estate. It's meant for some, it's not meant for everybody. Especially in this day and age, it's hard for you to buy property now because banks have always been buying it, but now companies are definitely investing in all that shit. It but you can go find like online or content creators who are like CPAs. You can learn shit from them. People who are tax specialists. But how many of you don't need to answer. This is a question for yourself, for you and you alone, because it's only important for you and you alone. How many of you actually go about looking for financial content creators who are not real estate, not buying cars, not flipping shit, who are tax specialists or whatever, who's trying to teach financial literacy? How many of y'all are actually picking up books, whether it's written or audio? How many of y'all can say you really do that for yourself? So that even when you choose to actually have somebody who might be willing to help you, when you start off with them, you don't come off looking like a complete dummy. How many of y'all get yourselves ready? Because you can't say the information is not out there. You can't say that at least the basics are not out there. It's funny how many people could tell me how much they want to invest into stocks, but didn't learn shit about anything when it comes to mutuals, index, brokerage accounts. They didn't do any of that shit, but they want to tell me how many stocks they invested in because they got fucking one of these damn apps on their phone. And I'm just like, good example. Grown man, he's a couple of years younger than I am. I talked about Berkshire Hathaway. He didn't even know what that was. He didn't even know whose company that was. But he's gonna tell me about all these different stocks that he got levied up. I was like, okay, all right. Are you banking everything on your 401? I mean, nothing? How much are you pouring into your 401? Do you even know how much it's going to be for you to max it out? Have you considered going to a Roth? How much are you putting into your insurance? Okay. Don't you think it's a little high for you being a single man? Just a thought. I I'm just asking questions. If it will spark anything in you'll be like, maybe. Well, what do you think? Or maybe I should go speak to HR, or I should go speak to accounting. Nope. Just like, I'll be all right. Because there are people who cannot see past their next paycheck. They cannot see past their next paycheck. And I mean, it's okay if listen, if that is what you're actually into, that's cool. That's cool. But what is it you keep asking me, Resla? You talk about, yes, I talk about money. Can you tell me what do you mean you can't? Can I tell you what a balance sheet is? A balance sheet is literally you keeping all your assets in the sheet. It's basically from what you owe and basically what you have left over. It counts up all your what you have in terms of equity. It counts up what you have in terms of your liabilities. It's about, yeah. That's all it is. It's about calculating all your assets. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. You already know what it is. Yes, I just said equity. Yeah, I literally said it. The question is, if you already knew what it was, why are you asking me? Oh, by the way, Gatsby's falling right into what I just said earlier, folks. He's late again. Instead of actually contending with the actual conversation, they feel like they need you to justify yourself to them, so they keep giving you questions. I said it earlier, folks. This, by the way, this is also used for people who want to be a contrarian and want to have arguments. I said it earlier. I did say that earlier. There was no real point. It was just to spark up something to start. I see you. I see you. This is just human behavior. Your first business was an investment fund at 22. I mean, good for you. I I don't know why that was important to share. Okay, I mean, go. Good for you. Good. Great. Hopefully there are other people that can learn to do that, whether they're in their 30s and 40s and 50s. Hopefully. If you figured that out early, you figured it out early. Oh, you see that? I said that earlier. People who always want to compete. Why do you feel the need to measure yourself with me? Why do you feel the need to measure yourself with me? I'm testing you. There's no reason to test about me because guess what? Whatever you think that you know, or what you claim that you know more or whatever, doesn't go into my pockets. It doesn't help me, and it doesn't help you. It's a fruitless thing. Because how does that help anyone else? How does you testing me help anyone else listening? It doesn't. It doesn't. Therefore it becomes fruitless. The fact that you're testing me is an indication of what you believe you already know. And unlike a lot of other people, I don't like to really go about opening my mouth about things I don't know. If I don't know something, I want to learn. So I tend to ask people who already know. And since I don't want to put all that time in schooling that they actually did, I might actually save up money from my own pockets. Little cheat code that I told you guys that I know a lot of you guys won't do, to pay them for their information. Because you're paying for time, something the rich do. You're paying for time. The thing is that I do know finance, though. I don't recall ever saying that you didn't. Okay. You know finance too. Hopefully, I would hope that everybody knows finance. Not everybody does, though. But you can, because you're always close to somebody if you're willing to be in touch and build a little rapport. But as to the point I said, starting it all off, you notice that you don't hear about financial talk on these damn panels. You don't see about debates about financial literacy. Hell, I wish I could just see podcasts of two financial experts battling it out. I wish I could see that. I really wish I could see that. That would be interesting to me. Even if the shit went over my head, just the things that I would hear that I would have to then look up. I would like to see two financial experts just going at it, not shoulder checking, not big dicking each other, just going back and forth of what they think is the best financial strategy about all kind of different shit, and then have a whole chat. I would love to see super chats come in and they have to answer the super chats questions. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I would love to see two people, whether it's somebody who is a CPA versus someone who's working in tax law. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. And I'm not just talking about people who are economists. I'm not talking about that. These people who just talk about business. I want to see people who are actually doing the work. I would love to see that. And I mean, not this bullshit of doing the Dave Ramsey shit. Not that bullshit. Not that bullshit. I don't want to hear about little snowballs and big snowballs, and I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about no balls. None. I'm not just talking about debt consolidation. That's not what I want to just hear about. The same way how if I'm hearing about people going to the gym, I just don't want to hear about people who are losing weight. There are plenty of people who actually want to gain weight. But you don't see many programs for people that want to gain weight. But you'd be surprised how many people are actually small that want to get big. But that's not what people are actually pandering to. They just said, you got to eat more. There's more to it than that. There is more to it than that. But let's just be honest. People who tend to be smaller who want to get bigger probably reach their goals faster than those who are trying to lose weight. Probably. Or maybe people spend more time on those who want to lose weight because they'll spend more money and they'll be repetitive clients because they keep quitting. It's just that. It's really just that. So there's always a market for something, but you can always be able to find it, especially in this day and age. The only problem that I have literally with books, which is why I'd rather just have a person to speak to, someone who actually deals in money management. Like I rather just speak to someone than actually go through an actual book because most financial books, most investment books are full of fluff. It's like the real meat is hidden beyond layers and layers and layers of fluff. That's the one thing I don't like about those books. Those books can literally be about somewhere, I want to say 25 to, I'm going to be nice, 130 pages. They can give you what you need and they're layered 200, 300 freaking pages. And most of it's just bull. And you got to sort through it all. You have to sift through it all. Most of them are weird examples and some shit back in financial history and somebody's story. Yeah, most books will not even give you cliff notes. They won't. They'll just give you just nothing but bullshit. It's actually kind of the reason why I laugh so much when people just criticize like Brett Cardone. I'm like, I see it. Like I get it. But most people don't see it that way. Because most people are sitting there with bad money. And by the way, system set up this way. We all know this. Set up so that you don't know anything so that you're going to be a debt slave. And by the way, when I say a debt slave, that means you're having a hard time paying. You're always behind. You're always borrowing. That's what I mean. There is debt that you can have that you can utilize. That's just not the way how most people are set up. Because most people are moving in crisis. A lot of us are moving in crisis. But a lot of us are also not setting ourselves up to be in the optimal position. You can be in crisis, but you're not supposed to move from one crisis to the next. You're supposed to be in crisis. You're supposed to be there for a little bit. You're supposed to work your way out of it. You're not supposed to spread the fire. And the next thing is that you're not supposed to ask for someone else. You're not supposed to ask for someone else to turn around and take care of that fire for you. You said debt talk, always fun. Shit. I don't hear enough of it unless I'm hearing about fucking green. I was about to say Gordon Ramsay, fucking Dave Ramsey. I get tired of. Ooh, I don't. I'm so tired about hearing about debt consolidation, fucking shit. I would love to see better talks when it comes to economics. I really would. I would like to hear about it coming back into schools, being better in schools. I would. I wish it was promoted more that people have businesses. People should talk about kids having like they should give them the example of kids having a lemonade stand in some way that would get young people in elementary and junior high school and even high school thinking about how to get a business started. But that's not what's happening. That's not what's happened. It's a segment episode someday about money. I'm no expert. I'm no expert. I am a humble compliance guy. I'm just a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. The same way how I don't give professional advice. I can't do it on a money thing. I'm not. I'm no financial expert because people are gonna ask for my accreditations. People are gonna ask for my where did you go? Who do you work for? How much you got in the bank? Because it's a sore spot for so many people. And instead of understanding that you don't need to be rich to give information that someone else didn't have, everybody just gets sore at the end of the day. This is why I said it before and I'll say it again. You won't catch a whole bunch of these guys out here debating over money, how to make money, like just from the floor. They ain't not talking, oh, you just need to do day trading. No. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. In proper investments, which accounts to go to, what's a great start to be in there, what are they actually giving you, what's your credit score need to be like in order for you to open it, just how easy it is. After so many days, this is what you should be aiming for. People are not sharing that kind of information online because they're hoping to actually make some money. But these guys that, it's so funny. You get some of these guys on YouTube. They all act like they are all six-figure earners. They're all six-figure earners. They're all rich on YouTube. They all got big money. That's so interesting. I'm like, you got all this big money. You doing so well. You got all this wealth. And then you spend your time arguing online? Huh? Huh? Well, how many businesses have I told you that I have? Gatsby. I don't recall us ever saying anything about it. I don't recall talking about putting money in any business, son. So why are you asking me how many? And again, how does it help you? How does it help anyone else? How does it? I'm pretty sure you're saying this because you want to somehow say that you've made businesses that produce 10K plus a year. How does that help anyone here? Since you wanted to make it so known, how does that help anybody? I don't recall saying that either. I just find it so interesting. Because think about it. Hornet, with the kind of question, especially the kind of question he's asking, why would I ever give up that information? Why is he so interested in my pockets? Why would that be smart? Most people are financially vulnerable. I think that was the entire point that I was making. I just don't know how you started aiming that at me. And that was literally my point. Are you not listening? That's literally the entire point I've been making about that. I literally said people, the majority of the people are broke, but pretend like they're all six-figure earners on YouTube. Most people are not financial literate at all. Continuously keep putting themselves into debt. Where are they comfortable financially? That doesn't make sense. I mean, here's my thing. It depends on what being comfortable is. To many people, you know what being comfortable is? Always beating the rate of inflation. They don't need to be wealthy. They just always want to be above inflation. There are actually plenty of people, by the way, who are living pretty good, living pretty comfortably. They don't need a Hellcat or anything, but they're doing pretty good. Yeah, they don't need a neon Mustang. They don't need it. They don't need a Tesla. They're doing pretty good. They don't need to be eating at freaking Fogo every night. They don't need to be only at Michelin star restaurants. They're good. Too many people don't spend within their means. I don't even think they understand where it is. Halfway done paying your bless your heart on that one. Shit. Freaking mortgage. Locked in place for 30 freaking years. Own all your vehicles. Okay. As long as you know how to take care of them. As long as you can take care of them. I just think a lot of people could be doing better. And you'd be surprised how much people can actually do better, quote, as a community, if people spent less time arguing over the shit that don't go nowhere and arguing over shit that could actually go somewhere. Because maybe, just maybe, you'll hear something that you never heard before because people don't talk about any of this damn money out here. That might be able to help somebody else. But I don't think people out here still yelling about education when none of them actually vote for any boards. They probably don't have kids themselves. I don't know how that's helping. How cherry picking the Bible, that ain't helping. Complaining about what new figurehead is in politics, that ain't helping their pockets. They need to understand that if life is going to get better, they're going to have to actively make steps. It has to be them. It's not. It's not your new politician. It's not your new flavor of the month. It's not. It's not your precious book. It's not. Sorry, it's not. It's not the Board of Ed. It's not the alphabet community. It's none of that shit that you're so focused on. You got to invest in yourself if you want to get better. Stop looking for other external things to do better for you. Stop looking for other external things to take care of you. You're going to have to take care of yourself. Stop going on hopes and dreams. That's not a strategy. You're going to have to do some work. And if that makes you kick your legs up and say you don't want to, then don't do anything. You could keep spending your money for scratch offs and spending all your money at the Mega Millions and the Powerball, and then you can look back at the end of the year on money that you can't write off and wonder how much that you spent that entire year on scratch offs and Powerballs and Mega Millions when you could have invested that money into something a little bit more productive. Just something to think about. I wouldn't tell you what to do. I'm not him. I'm not Himothy. But I can say things that probably other people are not saying things to you about. And you can make your own decision. Sometimes it might be a little unorthodox. Sometimes it might be something you never heard before. And sometimes you just go, yeah, maybe I should. I forgot what I think it was a young lady that was in here last time. And I was talking about a book and she didn't hesitate. She just asked me, what book was it? Okay, cool. I'm going to check it out. I was like, go. Did so. Quick, fast, in a hurry, of her own volition. I don't know. I don't know what man that ever fared out well standing in my face and said, "Give me your money." Never fared well for him. I'll tell you that. Never fared well. So it happens. It happens so. It's so infrequent that I know the last time somebody said it did not turn out well, and that happened to me in front of an ex. Did not work out so well for me. It's just there's just some things you just sit and say. Like, like I've lived in New York pretty much all my life, pretty much, and I've never seen anyone run into the bodega and say, "Give me all the or give me all the money in the register." That's only like some TV and movie shit. I've been in bodegas when they've been robbed, but I've never heard anyone say that. Put the money in the bag. I've never seen that happen. I've never heard of that happen. I've seen it happen. I've never heard it happen. Those are not the words that I hear. Just like I never heard of, but I'm lying. I have heard a wise ass cashier say, "Do you want it in paper or plastic?" I have heard that. He got hit, but I have heard that. It's so interesting when we have people out here who will create arguments for any old reason. And I'm just saying, it's so sad. It's so sad because you like no one, no one benefit. And this is gonna sound really hard. No one benefits from you being here. No one benefits. It's a waste. I don't think people really want to think about them being here with the only life that they have and what they can actually be building for themselves. And they're not being a benefit to anyone, not even themselves. And that's what I feel is a big problem. It's one thing if you're having a real spirited debate over some real shit, hoping to actually somebody's gonna learn something. Because like I said, people will argue about shit that they don't even believe in just so they can have an argument, just so they can have something to argue about. And I'm just like, sounds like a toxic relationship to me. It sounds like a toxic relationship with yourself because you're willing to argue with anyone. I think at some point it's becoming so bad. I think some of these people will argue with somebody with Down syndrome. I'll just be honest with you. Take it anywhere just to have an argument. Argue with toddlers. Just for the hell of it. And we'll do that probably for a good hour just to have something. And it's a shame. It is a shame. And both that time they said, give me the money. He's in the podunk town. Oh, well, shit. Yeah, I've never heard it. But the one time that I know for sure somebody said, hey, yo, give me your money. Didn't work out well. It did not work out well. But bodegas, I never heard it happen in a store robbery. I've heard everybody on the ground. That's something I've heard. Everybody on the ground. So for some movie I sure probably I've never heard it. And I mean I've seen guys come in with pistols. I've seen a guy come in with a sort of shotgun. But I've never heard put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. Yeah, never. I've heard stand back. Get the fuck out the way. And they go behind the register. Cause think about it. I'll say it from this way. Typically, when I've seen the store robberies, they themselves go behind the counter. They don't leave it for the cashier to give them the money. They don't say, "Give me the till." They don't do that. They go behind. They tell the guy or tell the woman to get the fuck out the way. They grab all the money that they want themselves, and then they leave. That's the way I've seen it happen. They ain't sitting there with the pistol. Yeah. Give them fives. Give them fives. Now I don't like them ones. Them ones look dirty. Give them tens over there too. Yeah, you giving them roller quarters. Like just no. That's not what happened. That, that's not what takes place. Typically, like get the fuck out the way, grab the shit, whatever, grab whatever they have, stuff their pockets or whatever, and they out the door. So you've been put out of that car at gunpoint? Oh, by police. Shit. Yeah, that's never happened to me either. Yeah, that's kind of wild. The key to the safe ain't here. Shit. That would be something. Actually, you know what? I've actually heard this before, and I've heard that in a bank movie. Listen up, everybody. I'm only gonna say this once. I did hear that in a robbery. I heard somebody say that in a robbery. But outside of that, yeah, it's not really a thing. At least not for me, my personal experience hasn't really been a thing. And that would be something interesting. Now, people get robbed all the time. People by themselves get robbed, but aren't like big robberies like that. Not something I really hear that much about. Even though believe it or not, uh, carjackings still happen from time to time. I don't really hear that much about it anymore as I used to. Um, bodega robberies do happen, but the majority of the bodega robberies I do see happen, the guys don't really get away. Somehow, like, and let me say, when I say bodega, I mean like 7-Elevens. Somehow the tides always turn, and a lot of the way these doors, these mag doors are now, you can't even get out, and that's just from all the thieves. So they try to get the fuck out, and it don't happen. Somehow all the guys come from behind and just whoop their ass. You let it drop as you step out. Shit. Not that. Not that at all. Yeah, that would be a problem. A quick problem. Be like, yeah. Yeah, you step back right now. Fuck that. All right, y'all. It is 10. I think I'm gonna take off. It does it smells so much better in here because I've been painting some of the walls in here. I gotta paint some other walls, but I'm gonna leave that for another time. And I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna try to relax and try to focus on some other stuff I got coming up for the week. So outside of that, I think I'm gonna leave you guys to it. It is one of those nights. Who knows who's gonna do what? But whatever they do, they ain't gonna do it with me. So outside of that, you guys take care of yourselves, and of course, just be apprised of when I'm next online. I'll see y'all.